the executive chairman of Shooting Stars. He is right here with us in the Lagos studio. Let me quickly introduce Mr. Taiwo Lekan Salami. He's the executive chairman of Shooting Stars Football Club of Ibadan. Good to see you. Thanks for finding time to be with us on the show tonight.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me.
All right, so let me just throw this at you. I grew up in a house where they loved shooting, so let me just put it out there. In our family, growing up, they were always talking about shooting stars. But growing up myself, things, I don't know if you agree, things nosedived a little. But I must also acknowledge that in recent past, there's been an upsurge somehow. There's been a turnaround, and it's good that we have you here to probably tell us maybe the things happening behind the scenes that is responsible for the turnaround.
Good evening once again.
Yeah.
My name is Honorable Taiwo Lekan Salami, the Executive Chairman of Shooting Stars 3SC. First of all, I want to use this opportunity to thank His Excellency for giving me the opportunity to serve. It's been an interesting ride, so to speak. As you rightly said, yes, there was definitely a nosedive. Everybody saw it. Over the past couple of decades, I can even say, Shooting Stars, we kind of lost our way. The glory days that we were renowned for, was no longer there. So definitely, so many things went wrong and, had to be put in proper perspective. So when we came on board, precisely 4 months today, actually, we faced a lot of challenges, and it was very clear that we needed to, do so many things, both on and off the pitch, to put Shooting Stars, right where it should be, competing amongst the best, not only in the MPFL, but in African football, so to speak. So we came up with a blueprint, to restructure, to re-engineer, and to reposition the club. And that touched many facets, from human resources to coaching, to players, to processes, to procurement, to, administration. So we have a completely new, structure that we're running now, and it seems to be working, at least, for us.
Yeah.
Both the back office and also, the front office. We have a COO, which is the Chief Operating Officer, that handles all the back office operations, from branding to marketing to ticketing to, fleet management, and stuff like that. Then, of course, we have a sporting director, who's also very grounded. So he handles player welfare, recruitment, managing the coach and, the players, even, regulatory issues with MPFL, he handles all that. So anything to do with on-field, the sporting director, does that. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's, I mean, you've touched on a lot of questions I would have loved to ask. But let me throw this in. A lot of us grew up hearing, I mean, just what we have on screen, the fans. I mean, what is football without the fans? A lot of us grew up hearing stories about, oh, the stadiums are always filled, this. And, during that period of the nosedive, although people will say there are many reasons that could be alluded to that, but do you think in the nearest future that we're going to be having Shooting Stars play, for instance, in Ibadan, and the stadium will be packed? Because I know Shooting Stars is a traditional club and they have fans everywhere, all over the globe. How soon do you think we're going to have days like that where Shooting Stars will be playing, even a way that the stadium will be packed full of the fans?
Maybe you might not have been to any of our games in recent times.
Okay.
We have a capacity stadium of 10,000 at the Lekan Salami Stadium in Ibadan. We've played 6 matches so far at home this season, and we're averaging 6,500 per match. There's some games that, we got even 8,500.
That's
So
around
it's
65, 70 attendance.
70% capacity, you know. So I already see a problem coming, you know, because I think ahead, you know. If by His grace we qualify for Continental this year or win the league, you know, that stadium is going to be too small for Shooting Stars. You know, I can see a situation where 30, 40,000, you know, persons will want to come and watch here. And you can only, you know, fit in 10,000. So I can see that problem already. The issue of fans watching Shooting Stars, I mean, we're the most popular club, at least in the MPFL. We have history. We have fans everywhere, you know.
I agree.
So Shooting Stars is a religion.
All right, I agree. My colleague, I mean, also has a few things to throw in as well.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Honorable Lekan, Salami, it's good to have you on the show, and I must say, good job with the branding. Your team seem to be doing at Shooting Stars. I'm right here in London, and I follow the club so well now because there's some level of visibility. But talk to us, let us understand, what's the long-term plan for Shooting Stars, particularly towards positioning it to be a professional, profitable football club?
You know, we have both short, medium, and long-term goals for this club. When you talk of long-term plans, you know, we have an aggressive plan, which is featured in our blueprint, to develop the youth academy. That is something that we're passionate about, because really and truly, you know, the future of football are the youths. You know, that is where you can do a lot of talent exchange, you know, player sales, you know, with foreign clubs. Long-term plan also includes maybe partnering and collaborating with clubs abroad, you know, to be able to sign, you know, academy partnerships with them. Our long-term plan includes building a permanent site, you know, for Shooting Stars, you know, just the way you have, you know, for clubs abroad, where you have, you know, hostels, you'll have a gym, you'll have, you know, swimming facility, you know, training pitches, you know, canteen, and, you know, everything, clinic that the players, you know, need to be able to perform. So those are parts of the long-term plans, you know, that we have. We're going to be announcing, you know, maybe in the next 1 week or so, you know, a sponsorship deal, you know, with a multinational, you know, in Nigeria here. You know, we've had visits this week. Even this week, we had visits from, you know, personnel from Club Brugge in Belgium. You know, we had people from blockchain, you know. So everybody, you know, is taking interest in Shooting Stars now. And that can only be a good thing. And I believe what we're doing in the media space, you know, in terms of really amplifying, you know, our vision, is what is encouraging so many people to start looking inwards and say that, look, something good seems to be happening here, so it's better we jump on the bandwagon now, you know, and roll with this club. So our long-term plans are aggressive, you know, and they're very intentional. Besides the youth team, you know, maybe in years to come, you know, Shooting Stars could possibly have, you know, a female football team as well that will be performing in the, you know, female football league.
All right.
So there's so many things that we have in stock. Yeah.
All right. I guess that's a good place to leave it tonight on the show. We really wish you had time, but of course, time not always your friend when you are having fun. Of course, Honorable Lekan, Salami, I want to thank you for your time on the show today, and hopefully we get to do this some other time.
Thank you so much.
All right.